If you're looking for a solid storage system for tying down your cargo in your bed, this TerraFlex Uinta cargo bed rail system with the tie-down anchors will be a great pick for your 2020 or newer Gladiator. Now this system doesn't look like much, but this will offer very strong tie-down points for whatever you're carrying in your bed, whether it be a spare tire, dirt bikes, or really any cargo at all. Now this will come with 3 bed rails, one for either side and one for the back portion of the bed, as well as 4 tie-down anchors. And the anchors will also be able to be positioned wherever you would like, which will be a big bonus compared to others that will have set positions like the Mopar bed rail. Now it's also going to leave the option open to accept any additional tie-down anchors depending on your setup or what you need for organizing your bed. Now the rails themselves will be made of an extruded aluminum with a black anodized finish, and the anchors will be incredibly strong, made of a forged 304 stainless steel. Now these anchors will hold up incredibly well, especially to the elements, because these are 304, and you can even purchase additional ones separately if you need more for your setup. Now when the anchors are installed, you'll be able to tighten them by hand, but these will also be able to accept a wrench for additional peace of mind that your cargo is really not going anywhere. And I do like the fact that on the bottom here, there's a little bit of detail in the design. There is a small spring clip, which is just a little bit of extra security. Not to mention, this knob is going to be pretty low profile for a lot of space for any hooks or carabiners that you want to add to these anchors. Now with that being said, this system is going to come in roughly $350 for the kit, and additional tie-down points will be roughly $50 for a set of 2 of them. Now in comparing this to some other choices, I really do like the flexibility that this offers with being able to customize this to your own personal preference, as to where some other choices may not give you that flexibility. This will also allow free mounting for all the anchor points, and is really going to be made of some high quality materials, offering a solid mounting solution that you can really trust, especially for that heavier cargo. Now, a lot of the time you'll see rail systems on bed racks or roof racks where you can store additional cargo, but I really think it was smart for TerraFlex to put a solid solution in the factory location. Now getting into the install, this is going to be very easy. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about an hour to get the job done with some very basic hand tools. I would like to mention that if you do have a spray and bed liner, you will have to clear that factory mounting hole or mounting point with a Dremel or a tap in order to mount the rail properly. However, that is going to wrap it up for me. I'm going to pass you over to one of our guys in the shop, and they're going to show you a detailed breakdown of this install right now.
The tools you're going to need for this installation include a regular ratchet or an electric ratchet. I would recommend a 1/4 inch ratchet as well, 4mm hex head, 10mm socket, and the blue thread locker that comes with the kit. How's it going, everybody? Today we have a bed rail system to install in our 20 Gladiator. I'm going to show you how to do it step by step, so let's get started. Before we install our rails into the bed of our Gladiator, we are going to do a little bit of preparation work here. The kit comes with these end caps and the hardware to secure them, as well as some blue thread lock. So what we want to do is we're going to put 1 cap on per side of these rails. It just sits in there like that. And with the thread lock, we're just going to put a little bit on the end of the threads. I'm not going to do it for the purpose of this demonstration, but for your information, that's what you're going to want to do. Once you got the thread lock on there, this tightens down with a 4mm hex head, and you don't have to tighten it down very much at all. You just want to snug it. So that's how you install the end caps on your rails, and you put 1 on per side, and you're just going to do the same thing for the other 2 rails. Now that we have our end caps installed, I'm going to take our rail as well as 4 of these bolts that are included with the kit, bring them over to the bed, and what we have to do is locate the holes here on the side of the bed. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's where we're lining our rail up with. And those holes are threaded, so these bolts go right in through the rail and then into the bed. Once you have those lined up and all threaded in by hand, just a couple threads, and you can take your 10mm socket and tighten them down. They don't need to be too tight, but just give them a nice cinch so it does sit in there nicely. Now when you're threading these bolts in by hand, it is easier to use your socket, at least for me, because I can't fit my fingers in there to thread them by hand. So once you have all 4 of them threaded in a few threads by hand, go ahead and take your 10mm and your socket and tighten them the rest of the way down. This kit comes with 2 hooks per rail, and to install these, you simply just loosen this knob here, slide it into the hole towards the front of the rail, slide it into place, and then tighten the knob back down. That's the install process for this rail, and for the front rail and the other side rail, just follow the same exact steps.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of the TerraFlex Uinta cargo bed rail system with the tie-down anchors, fitting all 2020 and newer Gladiator JTs. For more videos and products just like this, remember to always keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.